As for me, I haven't actually registered to vote.
You never see people like us going to vote.
As young people, we are the future of tomorrow. If we don't cast our votes, who's going to determine our future?
We are heading towards a better election again in 2023.
As we gear towards 2023, we form a broad alliance that can win Zimbabwe for change.
As the clock ticks towards 2023 general elections, the participation of young people in politics will determine the country's destiny. They constitute the biggest population, and the outcome of the election affects their future. According to the World Population Review, approximately 4.3 million people in Zimbabwe are aged 18 to 35. This age group is, however, shy from participating in electoral processes. The biggest question is, why do young people refrain from participating in decision-making processes that affect their future?
We have seen lower numbers of young people partaking in the voter registration and ultimately turning out to vote in the elections. And that's a worrying pattern, because the Constitution says every Zimbabwean must be afforded the opportunity to participate in the elections and democratic governance of the country. So we see low numbers. The last statistics, it was around 44%, somewhere along that line, and would aim to just have about 100% of the young people turning up to register to vote and then to participate in the elections as even as candidates as well.
Takudzwa says the environment and culture of violence in Zimbabwe and neighboring countries scares him and his age mates from participating in active politics.
According to the picture that we see from Zimbabwe, from South Africa, like most of these countries, they portray voting with violence. So as for me, I haven't actually registered to vote, and I don't think I'll vote anytime soon, because I don't want to associate with something that is violent.
Others say participating in the electoral process is a waste of time, as their voice is never heard.
But I didn't speak just because we are young. Saka ivo vanoteererana museko ravo ikoko revanhu vakuru chichichichi isai chinzi hatina experience, we know nothing.
An electoral expert says access to documentation, among other things, is demotivating many from fully enjoying their right to participate in electoral processes.
If you are in Matabeleland North and you are in a village in Dandanda, Ward 23, that's 125 kilometers to the registration center, which is at Lupane District Provincial Center. So that becomes a barrier as well in terms of the space and the accessibility of the voter registration center itself. In the time that it takes, we have had complaints of registrants in other cities, like Mashingo saying we have spent 1 hour, 2 hours seated at the registration center trying to register. So these are some of the challenges that young people face, because they have pressing livelihoods issues. So you can't spend 2-3 hours of your time seated at a registration center trying to register as a voter. And then finally, one of the things that we have also seen is access to documents, access to documentation. Just look at the current situation where we have been in lockdown for the past year, and the documents that have been issued have been very limited to at times 50 per day, at times 40, at times the country was closed throughout.
And this the legacy of Mugabe's institutions and ZANU-PF institutions, whereby the Registrar General has been at the center of electoral fraud by denying people documents. So we believe that parcel of electoral reforms must include access to documents for young people, particularly in different communities in urban areas. So ZANU-PF is using decisive voter suppression program.
Tanga tiri ku UK manje manje, tanga tiri ku America manje manje, tanga tine ma phone calls nevakomana veku Beijing, vakomana veku New Delhi ku India, vakomana veku Russia pa Moscow apa, tanga tine vakomana vakawina World Cup, vana Macron pa France, vana Popa, vachiti vachamisa, money is coming on the 1st of August 28.
For others, political banter such as this demotivate them from taking politics seriously. The youth say the election promises must be realistic.
The people who want us to vote for them, they say we address these things when you vote for me, right? When I vote for that person, I see those concerns, they won't be noted out. Those concerns won't be taken seriously. So I don't actually want to waste my time, right? I know it's actually for the future, but I don't want to do something that I know could say it will have an implication on the future, yet they are doing nothing towards that thing.
But do young people think they have a say in shaping out their future?
We're going to be the fathers of tomorrow, right? So we need a better economy, unlike this one that we are living in today. So it is up to us as young people to cast our votes, to determine, to change our future for a better living.
But electoral expert says without the involvement of young people in the electoral process, the future is bleak.
We cannot have a political processes that excludes young people. So the participation of young people as leaders in the political parties, it's critical. The political parties must find space for young people. In the state institutions as well that are responsible for elections, we should find space for young people to be there as well, to make decisions. So that becomes inspirational to other young people to say, okay, we want to be part of the political process, and that actually encourages them. However, we also have the role that CSOs and these other youth organizations can actually play in terms of encouraging young people, nurturing them, building the leadership skills, supporting them to take up leadership positions, either in councils, parliamentary seats, in all these other positions that are available. So that's one of the critical things that can actually happen. Then the other thing is raising awareness on the importance of why young people is a critical group that ought to be included, just like as women, PWDs, and any other group of the society. So those are actually important markers. And also making sure that the issues that were raised in 2018 are also addressed, because young people are following some of these things. If there were bad things that happened in 2018, we don't need to see them in 2023, because young people are following these social media posts, young people are following news, young people are following everything. And as they follow all these platforms, they are relating to what is going on, and then they are thinking that in the future, this is also going to happen.